Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet Rihana Crowl. She is the current Miss Collegiate Texas United USA, and she is representing our state very fine right now. We'll share her journey next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I remember when I was growing up, when you talked about pageants, you were talking about beauty pageants, but that is so far in the past. These days, it's all about who you are, what you stand for. That's why Rihana Crowl is in the studio. She's Miss Collegiate Texas United USA. There's a lot of words there.
Yes.
It's a mouthful. Well, welcome to the show, and you've been competing in pageants since you were how old?
I was 8 years old when I first started.
8 years old, wow. And okay, tell us about that journey. Do you remember your first pageant?
Yes, I remember, well, my mom was a photographer, so I started off there taking photos and then went into pageants, started in the glitz world, which is the big hair, glitz face and all that. And then as I grew up older, I think around 10 or 11, I started competing in the state titles, which is more important, more about your voice and what impact you have on the world. And ever since then, I've loved doing those way more. And I've just found my voice through it. Because when I first started, I was not really able to talk as much as I do now. I was very quiet and shy.
Let's talk about that. It's really helped shape your character?
Yes, it has. I remember when I first got my inaugural title for this same system, I had to do an interview for it just to see if I would fit for them. And I remember not even knowing how to answer a question. I had no idea what to say to them. And I got off the call and I was crying because I was like, oh, I just butchered that. And then they called me back, I think about 10 minutes later, and they told me I got it. And they said that they saw my heart through it. They saw what I really stood for, which was really amazing.
Well, tell us about your platform.
Yes, my platform is empowering young women. It's empowering young women who have lost their voice, who may have even beat up by the world, been insecure. And I help them, guide them to find their voice, walk boldly in their calling and the purpose God has for them.
Yes, and I want to talk about social media because I know you're passionate about that. When I was growing up, there was no social media. The bullies, you knew who the bully was in school because you saw them on the playground. But these days, you can make a post and somebody can say something unkind and they could be hiding behind a fake profile. It's tough out there.
Yes, it is. I think social media is probably the scariest platform to put yourself out on because everybody can hide behind the screen and just tell you what they think. And you don't even know what they look like or you don't know who they are. And I believe that most girls get so beat up by the world, just beat up by social media. I see so many people posting how sad or depressed they are on social media. And it kind of hurts because it's like God has so much more for them or they deserve so much more.
Yes.
And a lot of girls go back to that because they think that's what they deserve when really they have so much more for their life.
We're going to put up one of your reels so people can appreciate what went into this. Is there a lot of hours of practice and making sure that you've got your words down before a big pageant like the one you won?
Yes, they do they have a lot of sponsors or people who coach you during it. They have a lot of people through the pageant system. And you can get on calls with them and they'll usually coach you, media training, all of that. When I first did it, I was on there a lot. And then once you get to the pageant, you have some more in-person coaching. And then they do a lot of cameras as well as videos.
Yes. And you've got a big contest coming up in November, is it? Or when is the big pageant?
It is in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks? Oh, this is in June.
Yes,
Wow.
it's in June.
That's coming up fast.
Yes.
And tell me about that.
Yes, so in June, I think 7th, we are going to Daytona Beach, Florida for our nationals, which is where you win the overall title. So instead of Miss Collegiate Texas, it'd just be Miss Collegiate United USA.
Wow.
So for the whole nation. And I'm very excited about that.
And do you plan to keep the same platform that you used successfully in Texas?
Yes, I'm going to keep the same platform and just use it more, just get myself out there more to go home more.
We've got some video because, or actually some pictures from worship because your parents are preachers. That's something we have in common. We're both PKs. Tell us about your faith and the role that your faith plays in who you are today.
Yes, so I have grown up in ministry since I was younger. Not necessarily a pastor's kid, but just recently we moved to Texas from Arizona so they can plant a church here. And ever since then, I feel like God has just pushed us all, and including me, because when I say I was shy, I was very shy. So to be able to go up there and worship on stage is something I never pictured myself doing. I always pictured myself doing it, but never really doing it. And then I feel like ever since then, I've just been pushed more and I've gotten closer with my walk with God.
Yeah, and to get butterflies before you go before the congregation?
When I first started worshiping, I would get super nervous. I'd probably have to leave the room before I went on stage. But now I think really God has really just been with me on it. And I know that it's not me singing. Well, it's me singing, but it's not me, it's Him. And all of it, all the glory goes to Him. So
She is a very accomplished singer. We found a clip on Facebook. Let's go ahead and roll that. Wow, you have the voice of a nightingale. So blown away, and we wish you the best of luck in a couple weeks. I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to that young lady who's struggling right now. She has self-esteem issues. Maybe she's being bullied. What do you want to say to her?
yes, I say whatever you are dealing with, no matter what, I always say this, whatever your struggle is, no matter how big you think it is, our God is always bigger and He can always accomplish way more and take down all those demons, all those mean words, all those bullies. He's way bigger than all of them, and that God has a purpose and a calling on your life. And even if you're getting treated bad, you deserve way more and you don't have to keep going back. That God is big and He has a purpose and a calling, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
I love that. Great. Drop the mic. That was a beautiful way to end this episode. We're also going to leave you with her Facebook page so you can follow her and root her on as she goes to go for the national title. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.